This is a video about calculating simple zero coupon bond yield. Um, Zero coupon simply means that we only have the current price, the face value of the bond, and we are going to and we have the maturity or time to maturity, and we are going to calculate the yield, how much money we make. So let's start with a very simple step. We are going to have, just very simply, let's say that we wanted to invest $100, and we're going to do $100 invest today. And if we are earning, say, an interest rate of 10%, and we will have a time to maturity, let's say 1 year. And our calculation is very simple. We will take our $100 times the 10%, which means that we're going to make $10. And how much are we going to have at the end of the year? Well, we're going to have $100 plus the $10 that we just earned. So we're going to receive 110. Now, we can obviously do this calculation, how much we're going to have at the end of 1 year, that is principal plus the interest in one step. And we can simply say, what if we do principal plus the interest, which would actually give us the $110 like this. So with a bond, your investment today is your current purchase price of the bond. We're paying this, we're buying the bond. We don't know how much we are going to earn, but what we know is we know the face value. And we will just go with $100 for now. Now, obviously, in this example, what we're doing right here is this is your face value. This is your current price. And then this is your yield. Right, so, or what we refer to as I right here. Now, with the and this is very simple, right? So it's just if we pay $100 and if you're receiving $100, obviously our interest rate is 0%. But if you're paying $90, then let's plug it in. You're paying 90 times 1 plus the yield is, or supposed to, give us the $100. So then it will become 1 plus the yield equals 100 divided by 90. And then the yield will be the 100 divided by 90 minus 1. So, this is when we have the 1 year. What if we have the 2 year? But before we do that, I'm sure that you're curious what this calculation is, because I am. So let's put that into our spreadsheet. I'll say price, right? And then we have the yield, and then we have time. And I want to say time to maturity, and let's have this in years, right? And then you have the face value, right? So what we're going to do is we'll put the price. The price is $90. Yield is what we're trying to figure out. Let's have them all in the center. And then time to maturity, we have 1 year. And then the face value is $100. Now, notice that the $100 obviously is not realistic, but some bonds have face value of 1,000. Some bonds have a face value of 10,000. So it's actually quite common to have the $100 almost like an index value, so that the prices are always quoted in hundreds. If you're buying a $1,000 bond, the yield and the price and all of that will be quoted in hundreds. And you can see it right here. I pulled up this, and you can see how the bond price is right here. This is a treasury bill that has a maturity date of 5th of January 2021, and then you actually can see the quotations. We have 3 lines of quotations. This is one person or one institution's quotation. This is another quotation. This is a third quotation. The first one, well, they are basically buying and selling this specific bond at 99.990, and that leaves you with a yield to maturity of 0.03%. There are 10,000 of these bonds available, and the minimum trade is 5 bonds, right? So going back to our example, what we're trying to find out is what is the yield. So let's plug in our formula. What we're doing is 100 divided by 90, right? That is our face value divided by the price, and then minus 1. So we're going to do minus 1, and this is a percentage. And notice we have 11% yield, and I thought that it would be 10%. So why is it at 11%? I mean, we paid $90, and we're getting a return. I mean, we're getting a face value of $100. So how is it, if you're making $10 profit, right? $100 we're going to receive, $90 what we're paying. So we're making $10. So, however, a very nice trick, that is $10 divided by your original investment. And your original investment is $90. So you are earning $10 on your original $90 investment, and that is your 11%. Now, what if the time is multiple years, right? So what if the time is 2 years? Well, then really all that changes is you take your price times 1 plus the yield for 2 years. And then what will happen is the same for 2 years. And then this will be to 2 years, in which case what we need to do is we need to reverse this. So if it is a square, we'll take the square root. If it is 3 years, so if it is a power of 3, then we'll take it to the power of 1/3, right? So what we're going to do is we'll take this to the power of 1/2, square root. And then that's it. So let's fix our function accordingly. Our yield will be, what is it? See, the face value divided by price, parentheses, and then we have the hat, that's the power function. So let's go step by step. Power function, and then 1/2 is the 2 years, because we are now talking about 2 years. But we have to put a grand parentheses around this so that we can subtract the original 1 that we included for the main principal. So this is, and let's test it out. So we invest, and the time to maturity is 2. We invest $90. Let's see what it's going to be at the end of the first year, right? If we earn this. So $90 times 1 plus the 541. At the end of the first year, this is how much we're going to have. Now let's try the second year. We'll take this times 1 plus this. Now we have $100. You see, all we're really trying to do is we have X amount of yield, and the $90 will earn that yield. The principal plus that interest will earn the exact same yield for a second year. So the function now is that 100, or the face value, divided by the current price. And you see how in the original formula, we use the principal plus the interest for 2 years times the original investment price is what we're going to end up having at the end of our investment period. In the case of a bond, that's the face value. Now, with the, when we run, our simple math, it becomes basically our yield for the entire 2 years is your face value divided by the original investment price. And then your yield is, we simply reverse this or inverse it. So if it is a square for 2 years, we square root it, so 1/2. If it is, say, 10 years, then we do 1/10. Right? And then the original principal, remember how we added the principal plus the interest, principal plus the interest, principal plus the interest. So we deduct that principal from the overall yield. Because if you don't, then it's going to look like this, right? Because we have the principal. So we need to deduct the principal from that. So now the only thing that I want to change in this function is that, notice how I entered the 1/2 by hand. I don't want to do that because I want to actually change the number of years with that cell right here on C5. So rather than entering 2 manually, I'm going to make that this cell C5, and then that's it. So then, if I were to invest $90 for 3 years, and I know that at the end of the 3rd year, I'm receiving $100, then this investment's yield is 3.57%. Now, if I want to earn 5%, then I have to pay less. So if I pay $85 for this investment, then notice how we're actually earning more per year by paying less today. So let's do a simple example of a bond. So this is a January the 5th, 2021. So we are in September. So October, November, December, that's about 3 months because we are at so September to October, October to November, November to December, December to January. You're talking about 4 months. So 4 months. Now notice the price is at the first one is $99.99, right? So you're going to pay $99.99. Then the yield is 0.032. It's actually given to us, but our objective obviously is to calculate this. So our face value is 100, and our time to maturity, and notice this is in years now, is again September to October, November, December, into the January, we have about 4 months. So what I'll do is I'll enter 4 months out of 12 and increase this just to see. And notice I have 0.032. So I wonder if I could increase this just a little bit. So 99.99 is 0.032. Let's try maybe a little longer because this is not exactly 4 months. So that rounding is because of that. Today is, oh, let's try this one. Today is the 11th. So this should fit better. So 99.98.5. And yeah, see, now it's 45. Exactly 45. Right. So if you try something like February 11th, right there, then 99.98. But then our time to maturity is 5 months. Then it's 0.048, 0.048. So, like I said, this is a simple yield for a 0 coupon bond, a bond that doesn't pay any coupon, because if it does, then we have to calculate the yield or the present value or the future value of each coupon that we receive, and that's a slightly different calculation. With this, we don't have any coupons. We're simply calculating the yield on what if we were to pay today and receive $100 X months from now. So please let me know if you have any questions, and this is about it. So thank you.